Hi there, this is Mike Petrie with Petrie Consulting and the Remote Research Director Service. The purpose of this tutorial is to help you keep track of your data collection duties by using the Research Coordinator Task List. So the purpose of the RC Task List is to help you prioritize your follow-up efforts and to know which recipients are next in line for receiving a survey. So to do that, you navigate to the Petrie Consulting homepage and you click the Research Coordinator Task List, which is the coffee cup icon. Now what we're looking at here are two different categories of focus. The first is high priority errors. So R2D2 is scanning the entire system based on the rules and the schedule that have been prescribed for the adventure therapy study. It will look for a whole list of rules, maybe 15 or 20 different rules, but it will only show a row here in this table if it actually finds at least one error. So let's just go through the high priority errors and see what it's telling us to do. In this case, it's saying we have 14 relatives in this particular account or adolescents that are missing relatives. And the reason that that's important is that each adolescent is supposed to have an adult, whether it be a parent or guardian or case manager, complete a survey about that child's progress. And so to resolve this issue, you just simply click on the client's name, which will transfer you to the client's record, and then you will complete this related contact record. And if you do that, then R2D2 bot will remove this particular individual from the list. This will go down to 13, and all of the needed surveys will be assigned to that related contact. We've got 3 individuals in this account that have a bad date of birth, and the date of birth is important because the rules choose what surveys to assign based on whether or not you're dealing with an adolescent or an adult. We've got 2 with bad dates of admit. That just simply means in this case they don't have a date of admit, but dates of admit are very important because without them, the rest of the schedule cannot be implemented by R2D2 bot. In this case, there are 18 missing active staff, meaning that we have a client, but we don't have a staff assigned to them. So we've gone over this in prior tutorials, but let's just do it for fun. We'll go to Sample Client. This will take us to the client record, and we'll navigate down to the user field. And then we'll choose a user from the list or create a new user. And once that user is assigned to the stat or to the client, then all the needed surveys will be assigned to that individual, and we'll see the list of errors chip away. So this would move down. This was 19, I believe, and now it's moved down to 17. Let's do it one more time just to see how that goes. Sample client. Oh. Just needed to refresh there to see that work. In this case, we have 36 clients that are missing emails. Now, to try to make things convenient for you, if there's a related contact on file that has an email address, you can just choose to create an email address from the related contacts information. And as you can see, that instantaneously added that to the client and then brought down the related errors. Now this census errors row on this table, you won't have to worry about this at all as a part of the Adventure Therapy research project because it's we won't be uploading census. So this won't be an option for you. And then in this case there are 10 unassignable surveys, and in each case here we've got all of these are saying that there's a missing active provider or user. In your case, you're always going to assign a user or staff. And then there are 2 cases where a survey can't be completed or created because there isn't a current email address for a certain recipient. So these should be fairly intuitive. Do the best you can to stay on top of weeding the garden here. If you do so, it ensures the greatest chance that you're going to be able to collect all the data that you need to. Now the second category here is the pending surveys category. So now that these errors are resolved and all clients and parents and staff have been added elsewhere in the system, then R2D2 bot creates all the surveys for each of these folks, and now you can go to this pending surveys list to figure out who's next in line for survey delivery. Now, You'll notice here there's a color-coded system. So if you have a red cell, that means that the recipient's survey, at least one of the surveys assigned to them, will expire within 7 days or less. If it's yellow, it will expire between 7 and 14 days from now. And if it's gray, that means you've got 2 or more weeks before the survey expires. So a good practice is just to make sure that you stay on top of all your reds and yellows. So if we click on sample client here, we can administer now by just simply clicking the administer now button. This should be familiar. You can open it up in a new browser tab and give the survey here. You can use the kiosk delivery method. You can send a follow-up email. It's your choice how you follow up. Now in this case, it being a client, most likely what you'll need to do is just track that client down the next time they come in for treatment, and then administer the survey. But this becomes more handy when you're working with staff, for example. So let's just take John Sorensen, our sample staff here. If we click on John and we want to follow up with John, we can decide to send him an email here. So we can say, we'll administer now, send an email. We can choose to send a personal email from your native email account or one from R2D2. So we're going to go ahead and send one from R2D2 here. Says it's sent. So now we're going to come in and we're going to say, I sent an email to John. I might say, plan to follow up in person if not completed soon. And we can see here that there are 9 days until this survey expires. So I'm going to choose that if he doesn't respond to that email within the next 5 days, I want to follow up again. So I click Save Follow-Up. Now you can see that his name has been grayed out on the list, and that's because we made a decision that we had done as much follow-up as we felt was warranted at this time. We can see here is a history that 38 seconds ago we sent a follow-up email. 5 seconds ago we recorded this note and asked that the system not follow up for 7 days or 5 days, and so if 5 days pass before this is completed, then John's name will come up into full color again and we'll know it's time to follow up. So what we would expect to see for an attentive research coordinator is that they have essentially grayed out each of these because they've taken the follow-up efforts, if it applies. I mean, with self-report it can be a little, for the client report it can be a little challenging. So we invite you to use this system to keep track of your follow-up efforts and to stay on top of your data collection duties. Thank you again.